Aotearoa, and welcome to Wednesday's Economy Watch, where we follow the economic events and trends that affect Aotearoa. I'm David Chaston, and this is the international edition from interest.co.nz, and today we lead with news markets are betting Trump will, quote, declare victory, unquote, over Iran soon and walk back his war. But the Straits of Hormuz are still effectively closed to all but Iranian-linked vessels. Perhaps oddly, markets are assuming they'll open to all soon. The US Navy has escorted one tanker through, though. The betting on Taco is strong. But separately today, the overnight dairy pulse auction brought little change to last week's full auction. That means those good prices were essentially maintained. So no sign yet that the global rise in dairy supply is hurting prices. In the US, the ADP weekly jobs report rose 15,500, the same as the prior week, a steadying after 5 weeks of modest gains. Existing US home sales rose marginally in February, but that was better than expectations that they would fall. That leaves them 1.4% lower than year-ago levels. Despite the recent rebound, unsold inventory rose at a sharper rate. And the NFIB Small Business Optimism Index fell for a second consecutive month in February when it was expected to rise marginally. The net percent of owners expecting higher real sales volumes fell 8 points to a net 8%. Today's US Treasury 3-year bond auction brought another modest rise in yields from the prior equivalent event. And in Canada, travel to the US is down more than 30% in February compared to the pre-tariff period, replaced by much higher travelling to other places. Interestingly, visits by Americans to Canada are rising. Canada is also attracting notably more tourists from other countries too, presumably those avoiding the US. In Japan, machine tool orders remained especially strong in February, especially export orders. And China's exports rose almost 22% in February from the same month a year ago, its best rise since the pandemic. Imports are up almost 20%. Their exports to New Zealand only rose 1.6%, but their imports from us rose almost 26%. Their exports to Australia rose 32%, while their imports are up 29%. Their February trade with the US was even stronger, with exports up 27% and imports up 36%. In Malaysia, January industrial production expanded by 5.9% from a year ago, beating market estimates of a 5.4% rise and the previous month's 4.8% increase. Their factory sector posted even stronger rises. In Australia, the Westpac Melbourne Institute Consumer Sentiment Survey showed consumers remain firmly pessimistic, although sentiment continues to show some resilience. Daily responses in their survey showed a material weakening over the survey week. The results were less pessimism on current finances and attitudes towards major purchases. On the economy, it reveals more unease in the near term, but less concern about the medium term. Unemployment expectations pushed up above the long-run averages, led by the over 45s. And staying in Australia, the NAB Business Confidence Survey found that business conditions were steady in February, but sentiment slipped, with confidence now in negative territory for the first time in almost a year, likely reflecting some caution in the wake of the February RBA rate hike. This survey didn't really pick up the more recent Middle East war effects because it was conducted from February the 23rd to March the 2nd, so it only caught the very beginning of the US Israeli attack on Iran and subsequent spike in energy prices. The US Treasury 10-year yield is now just on 4.14%, up 2 basis points from yesterday, and the price of gold will start today up $126 at $5,229 an ounce. Silver is up $5 at $89.50 an ounce today. And American oil prices are down $9.50, just under $84.50 a barrel, while the international Brent price is down $10.50 to be just on $88.50 a barrel. And the Kiwi dollar is up 20 basis points against the US dollar from yesterday, now just on 59.5 US cents. But against the Aussie, we're down a sharp 80 basis points at 82.2 Australian cents. But we're up 10 basis points against the yen. Against the euro, we're unchanged at 51.1 euro cents. That all means our trade-weighted index starts today up a net 10 basis points at just under 63. And the Bitcoin price starts today at $71,226 and up another 3.1% from yesterday. Volatility over the past 24 hours has been moderate, at just on plus or minus 2.4%. You can get more news affecting the economy in New Zealand from interest.co.nz. Kia ora, I'm David Chaston, and we'll do this again tomorrow.